What is going on? Welcome to another episode of Music Girl Hideout, the show where we hang out with artists, musicians, and entertainers in Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. As always, I am gathered here with co-host Ryan Poole, who I'll pass it to introduce the guest. Yes, I realized I forgot to say my own name, but that's okay.
And your jury. And today is the first episode of the new millennium. Woo! That's not the new millennium, it's just a new year.
Right.
Welcome to 2023, ladies and gentlemen. And tonight we have a very special guest.
The most special.
You want to read? I've been saying very special guest for like 50
Every single
episodes.
episode.
God, I feel so special.
Yeah.
You should.
Don't let it build your ego. I always say that,
Well,
regardless of how stupid you are.
Yeah. No chance it wasn't gonna. Yeah.
Tonight we have Dylan Grantham, a.k.a. Young Ritual.
Hello.
And
Hello.
Dylan / Young Ritual, which we will interchangeably say throughout. So
good.
Young is from, can I call you Young?
Yeah, you can call me Ritual, call me Young.
Just rich?
Rich?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, you know, some people affectionately, friends say Young Richie because they think it's funny.
Oh,
They'll
I
do
like
a
that.
Y-U-N-G. They'll do a Young Richie.
Sure. But then that's too close to Lil Richie.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? It's actually not that clever. I'm going to let them know.
We're just going to go with Richard.
Richie.
And Young
Yeah.
Richie is from the great state of
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, God, I'm saying it like Michigan now.
Yeah.
Wow, I've been converted.
Yeah.
And he is a singer and a songwriter. And we're going to play some songs here in about 15 minutes-ish and show you what he sounds like. But he also plays for Michigander,
Michigander,
the
yeah.
artist, also known as Jason Singer. Yeah. And a few weeks ago, we had Michigander on the show.
What a
and
mess.
Right afterwards, it was a tragedy. It was an absolute tragedy.
People are still talking about it. Yeah.
And right after the show, I was like, hey, you know, anybody you'd recommend to be on the show? And he's like, absolutely, I'm a guitar player.
I can't believe him.
Yeah.
What a jerk, right?
Yeah, he is.
And then not one or two episodes later, we had Gabrielle Grace on. And afterwards, I was like, anybody you think we should have on the show? And she was like, yeah, Young Ritual. And so you've been hella referred.
It's really funny that I'm referred by the two of them because they are two of the sweetest people in my life, but also they are the people that bully me more than anyone. They have the same sense of humor, and it's always, Dylan, he's a slime ball. They just go after me all the time. And so it's nice to know they do that to my face, but behind my back, they're speaking kindly about me.
Yeah, I don't think they said anything bad. At least nothing that we're willing to reveal.
Okay, yeah,
True.
that's coming later
At
in the
this
show.
point in the show.
The big
That's
revelation.
after a couple of drinks. Like, so we need to talk.
Yeah, this is an intervention on a podcast intervention. That's a cool concept for
Podcast
a podcast.
intervention?
I respect it. Yeah.
Man, I
Your
feel
friends
like
have actually invited you to be on here for an intervention.
Yeah, they're all outside right now. They're coming in. Come on in, guys. Come on.
could you actually imagine if somebody actually made a podcast of that? That would be just... I'd watch every episode.
Oh, it would blow up.
Every
We're doing
episode.
it.
It would.
We're doing it.
It would.
Intervention Hideout. Starting it next week. First episode, pilot, coming out.
Coming to you live from Waylon Jennings' studio.
Yeah, Intervention Hideout.
And at the very end, the ghost of Waylon Jennings comes in.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know
And
how
he's
we're going to
like-
get that.
He's like, I made a lot of mistakes. You better listen to me, kid.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Kid.
Yeah.
When I finally made it right by a shooter, I remember every episode.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, I think the first topic that's pressing on everybody's mind is what the hell, Southwest?
Yeah. Because you imagine you had some problems with your airline travel this winter.
As did both of us.
Okay. You were flying Southwest, though?
I
He
was.
I was on Spirit and Frontier.
Which is a mistake in the best of times.
Okay.
Yeah. And in the worst of times.
I was flying Allegiant because Allegiant...
What is that?
I've never even heard of Allegiant.
I don't know, but they do direct flights to Flint, Michigan's airport, which is crazy. It's a small little airport, and they'll do like in not Christmas times. It's like a $30 flight.
What?
It's so cheap, and it's a direct flight from B&A. So I was excited to do it. All my friends do it all the time. And Tuesday night, I'm trying to watch the Grizzlies game, just kicking back, you know, as you do. Me, just kicking back. I don't look like it, but I'm a big basketball guy, so I'm just kicking back.
Okay.
And I get the text, and it says, "We are so sorry to tell you that your flight 2 days from now has been canceled. And my car is not drivable. I had Jason's car. He was letting me borrow his car because I was in an accident at the start of December.
Ooh.
So I didn't have a car. I knew I had rental insurance. So I immediately thought, I'm going to go rent a car because if I don't leave tomorrow, I won't make it home for Christmas.
How long's the
storms-
drive?
It's 8 hours.
But without a storm.
Without a storm, and everybody was going into pandemonium, and all the flights were getting canceled. So I rented a car at 8 a.m. the next morning and just drove straight to the Mitten. Yeah.
I'm impressed that they knew their flight would be canceled 2 days in advance.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, all the other airlines were like, no, we're going to do
You're
it.
fine.
Don't
Yeah, we
worry
got
about
you.
it.
Merry Christmas. Yeah.
They were like, wait till you get to the airport. Actually, wait
Get through
until you're
security.
sitting. Yeah.
Yeah. Do that.
After you've already checked your bag.
yeah.
You've been waiting several hours now.
You
Yeah.
got your Starbucks.
Yeah.
You're settled in.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, I know it's 5 minutes before we're supposed to leave, but we got to be honest. We
Yeah.
can't fly through
This was
snow.
never happening.
We knew 2 days ago.
Yeah, they're all
Allegiant
laughing.
called us.
They're just clinking glasses together. Champagne is spilling everywhere. They're waving goodbye to you. They're carting you out.
As they fly crisscross the country in their private jets.
Yeah.
And
Right.
they're like,
Yeah.
friggin' idiots, we fly above the clouds.
Yeah, this thing's got all-wheel
The
drive.
storm is below us.
Why would that matter?
More crashing of glasses, glass breaking.
Yeah,
There's-
but
there could be a good conspiracy theory here about just like
just give it a week. I'm
Yeah,
sure they'll be
just-
popping up.
the elites. The elites didn't want you flying at Christmas.
It's a good era for conspiracy theory. I don't think that we had so many that kind of caught people since like maybe JFK, right? That's
Right.
like the fun one to believe. But now there's like
Well,
5 every day.
It's their own fault because they released all those documents that showed like a lot of them were true, and then people were like, "Well, if those ones were true, then all of them are true." You know? And it's like, okay, all right,
It's
settle
the
down,
straw that breaks the camel's back. It's like, if JFK was an inside job.
right?
Yeah.
Or like they really were trying to brainwash people.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if they're doing that, what else are they not telling us?
Yeah. And my favorite is they.
They.
People love a they.
Oh yeah,
It's, well, you know, they.
because they are the worst.
They are up to it, you know? Never explain who they are,
No.
but there's always they.
No, my favorite conspiracy though is birds aren't real. Have you
Yeah,
seen-
oh, I've seen it. That's like akin to flat Earth, right? It's
Oh
like
yeah, it's
so
right up there.
damn bizarre that it's
They're all just
crazy.
government drones.
I
Yeah.
honestly think flat Earth is a lot easier to believe.
Unless you're a flat
than,
earther, you're coming.
Oh
out
wow,
right now.
coming out right now on
Happy
the
New
show.
Year! It's an easier time to be one these days. Kyrie did that right, and then he kind of like paved the way for some folks to be a flat earther.
Now it's cool.
Yeah,
I think it's
cool.
probably it's easier to believe in a flat Earth because at least that matches your daily experience
Yeah.
of like you have to believe the Earth is round. You have to accept science, but to believe a bird isn't real, you have to deny not only
The existence
science,
of birds.
You have to deny your
Just by
own
itself.
experience.
your everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to see something.
You see a
and be
flock,
like, nah.
you're just like a bunch of drones.
And imagine what that does to your psyche. That
Right.
if every time I saw a bird, I had this grand conspiracy theory in the back of my mind, I would lose my mind.
Yeah, I couldn't handle it.
No, it's like I'm barely perceiving 90% of the world around me at any given time. I'm not trying to perceive every bird that crosses my gaze.
Well, did you guys see it happen like this weekend? That guy, I've never heard of him before. Yesterday, but his name, I think it's Andrew Tate.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
So I guess he got arrested in Romania.
Yeah, a jerk
for-
and a criminal. Yeah.
yeah.
Crazy.
He was like something with trafficking.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that much about him, but I was like, who is this person that everybody knows about already,
Yeah.
apparently? And I looked through his Twitter, and all of his stuff was like, this is the Matrix, and they got you in the Matrix, and you got to get out. You got to hustle hard. It was like a weird, like, all the hustle hard people
Yeah.
combined with, like, simulation people, and he was
Yeah.
in both. And he was like, this is the Matrix, so you got to hustle hard to get out of
Yeah.
the simulation.
Yeah. And then every now and then he'll be like, women. Ugh. That's kind of his whole brand. It's like every now and then a woman hurt him, maybe 20 years ago, and he's just carrying that around until he gets put away in jail in Romania, I guess.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And the whole controversy started with him, or the whole new thing started with him calling out that girl, Greta.
Greta, yeah.
Yeah, who's like
Right.
the young girl
Van Fleet, yeah.
with the The climate
What is
change
her
girl.
name?
Yeah.
Thurimbert?
Something like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
And so he like made this whole, shit talk thing. And then she said something like he wanted to email her a list of his like his 30 cool Lamborghini cars and stuff to
Yeah.
be like, I put in so much emissions into the air. Let me
What's your
email you the
email?
list of my cars. And so she was like, yeah, you can email it to like smalldickenergy@getalife.com. And then his reply to that was like, oh, you messed up because you said that was your email address. And I'm like, okay, this is some schoolyard shit right
It's
now.
funny too that his response was to go to jail. He did that in like 5 seconds flat. She lit him up on Twitter, which should be a safer space for someone like him than ever before, and he went to jail.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And I don't think it's true, but they said it was because of a pizza box or something.
Well, supposedly the pizza box
good
showed that he
Romania
was in
pizza.
Romania. And so the Romanian government's like, oh, we know that pizza company. Like,
Weird.
let's go down to his villa or whatever. And they
Yeah.
arrested him. And so anyway, yeah. Current events. We don't usually do that, but it's a fun time.
Isn't it crazy? I was talking about this with my wife the other day, but there's too many famous people.
Yeah.
Like, so many that, like, are they even famous?
Yeah.
Like, what even is famous? Like, before, because I was watching this show, The Tulsa King,
Yeah,
which
I've
is
heard of it.
phenomenal, starring Sylvester Stallone, but it's a TV show.
He is the Tulsa King.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I started watching it, and I was like, well, this is amazing. And I thought, we don't have actors like this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the biggest star that is a household name across the board. Like, who's the last one?
Yeah.
But we have a million of these, like, small famous people who are famous in niches. But, like, when this guy got arrested, I saw it everywhere, and I was like, I have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
happens a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like the shock jock thing, that gets elevated, and because we take everything bite sized, So it's like, here's this bald weirdo kicked up next to a Lamborghini who's picking a fight with a teenage girl. When you actually like
2022
say it,
stuff.
when you're like, this bald weirdo leaned up against a Lamborghini who picked a fight with a teenage girl and went to jail.
He lost the fight.
It's like the synopsis on his Wikipedia.
Yeah, but I know you had problems flying as well. But you had problems first.
I forgot
That's how we do.
talking Southwest. Yeah.
Yeah, my flight got canceled
Yeah.
On the way. Like
on the way.
Yeah.
On the way. The day of the storm coming in.
I
don't
thought you
know
meant
if it was
in the air. They
in
were like,
the air.
we're taking you down.
Sorry, cancel. Actually, not that far off.
Yeah, you're in Utah now, and that's
Well,
where you're celebrating Christmas.
That's almost accurate. So
my
my
God.
first flight, you're one state off. So
Okay.
my first flight straight up canceled. Then I bought a new flight day of. That flight was supposed to go from Nashville to North Carolina, which it did. And then it was supposed to go from North Carolina to San Diego, which it did not do. Instead, it went to Phoenix, Arizona, because that was close enough.
You're just like, close enough, guys. Peace out.
Yeah. Christmas in Phoenix. Great song.
They get on the intercom, and the pilot's like, and the thing is, I'm used to Southwest who jokes around.
Yeah.
But
Right.
this was American.
Kind of fun. Yeah.
Who was not fun. They're just like, so the San Diego airport is closed for the next 3 to 4 hours because of fog. And you're like, San Diego's not supposed to have weather problems.
Right. And fog, like, don't you have instruments for that?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to look out the window, right? I don't
So
know how
they-
flying works.
Yeah.
They
We're
diverted us
learning.
to Phoenix. And it was such bedlam at the airport of flights diverted to Phoenix that I decided it would not be worth it to wait and see what their solution for me would be.
Yeah.
And I rented a car and drove overnight. So I had and drove to San Diego. So I had a 25-hour travel day, collapsed, at 7 a.m. in San Diego, slept through most of the day, and had my Christmas vacation. And, it is what it is. But then, on the way back, the storm is past, right?
Yeah.
You should be good.
Yeah, we were watching the weather. I was like, oh, it's gonna be like 50 in Nashville.
Is that
like,
an
it's
Apple Watch?
fast.
Is that where you're watching it?
No, actually, my watch is on this hand. I don't even know why I looked at that.
I was like, what time is the storm?
I looked at the wrist with no watch. I don't know why.
Yeah.
I clearly have one.
He consults his wrist.
Yeah, it tells me things.
You can feel it in your bones what the storm is going to do. When like there's rain and they're like, yo, it's going to be a storm.
Oh, I can
It's
He
feel
was
it.
hit by a lightning bolt in that wrist as a kid, and now he can tell the weather.
That's cool.
You know.
Should have led with that. Yeah.
It's a good opener, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I just assumed we were good. I was like, our flight's not for 3 or 4 days. Like, surely it'll be cleared up by then.
Yeah.
It was not, as we learned, because you got to the airport first.
So we happened to be flying back from San Diego to Nashville on the same day. So my flight was god awful early in the morning, got to the airport at like 6:30 a.m. And my first flight got delayed hours and hours and hours until I would miss my connecting flight. So then I would just live in Las Vegas. And so I was looking at a variety of solutions. Meanwhile, they were flying with Southwest, which, as we all know, melted down last week.
Yeah.
And
Bags left in alleyways. And
yeah.
There's lighting passengers on fire in the back. Like,
it's faster. It's faster.
There's a guy jabbing people with heroin needles. You're addicted now.
Thanks for flying Southwest. Everybody gets one of those little like pins they give the kids. They put them on your lapel and they push you out.
This used to be a nice airline.
Have some Biscoff, you know.
And so, but them being on Southwest and their flight wasn't until the evening, it was like, and your flight had gotten delayed by that
it
point.
was already delayed twice,
Okay.
just by like an hour, and then another hour.
So like, it's probably not gonna, your flight is probably gonna get canceled. The board at the airline, the airport, all the Southwest flights, it was like cancel, like 100. Yeah. And so I was talking to him and I'm like, look, your flight's probably getting canceled. We can't know that for sure, but probably. My flight's going to take me to Las Vegas. Maybe I can get a different flight from there. Not to Nashville, but maybe to Chicago, where I'll meet up with my girlfriend and she'll drive me back. Maybe. Yeah. Let's just rent a car. And so we tried to rent a car, which
took us like 5 hours, like going, like we went to this little airport that we didn't even know existed in San Diego on the border called like Border Express. It was like, what is this airport? I've never heard of. I lived here for 30 years.
It was on the border of Mexico. Everybody inside was Mexican.
Everyone's going to Mexico. Like, we're the only ones.
Yeah, there was like 2 or 3 other white people who were probably also trying to
Can we rent a car?
Yeah, exactly. But this airline, as I saw once I was in there, all of their flights at this airport, they all are to Latin American countries. So it's a convenient place if you're wanting to fly in Latin America, but you live in the U.S. is like, I mean, there's plenty of Latin people that live in San Diego. So you could just go to here, and it's like they have a streamlined process of crossing the border to fly to anywhere in Latin America. Yeah. So that was the last place that had rental cars in San Diego. And we drove down there and they had one Tacoma left. One car left. Yeah. And they wouldn't take our cards or our...
Right. Because you had to be a credit card, not a debit card. And the credit card I had on me had my wife's name on it, and she wasn't with us.
They would not give us a car no matter what we tried. And so we called his wife and said, get down here. She sped. His sister drove her.
Yeah, I got there remarkably fast.
He got there in like 20 minutes, and they were like, sorry, we already rented the car out. And long story short, we ended up finding a different rental car a few hours
4 or 5
later.
hours.
It worked.
It was
and then
rough.
we drove for 3 days across the country.
Yeah. And then in the end, we were like almost to Texas, like almost through New Mexico. Yeah. And then our flight took off. It never got canceled.
You're actually kidding.
No, yeah.
You're one of the 5 flights that actually left for Christmas.
And we were like, we were already like 800 miles down the road, you know?
We can make it. Yeah. If you speed really...
I think I did the math and I ended up only only losing like 15 hours because of how much it was delayed.
Yeah.
It was like wild.
Yeah.
You got to look at the bright side at times like these.
Around the holidays. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a tragedy.
That
Southwest is in trouble.
I saw something today, it was like on Twitter, where somebody, I think it was Southwest, it might have been United, but it was one of these 2 major ones, and they were like, my luggage, I don't have it yet still, and the air tag says that it's like in this alley. Like, that's why I said alley. It seemed strange, but straight up they had like a picture of these like empty bags in alleys, and they're like fighting with the person like that's customer service, and they're like, no, your bag is safe. It's here. It's like, okay, why does my AirTag say it's in an alley then? How could it possibly be safe? Yeah, so I'm glad. I'm very glad I drove.
Yeah. Yeah. It was the right move.
I had to go through
for sure.
Ohio, which is never fun. That's not fun driving. Cincinnati is great, but
this is just a bunch. I've never actually been to or through Ohio, I don't think.
Well, that's the thing. There's when you're from Michigan, gotta hate Ohio.
Gotcha.
I
You know
guess.
what's funny? The whole country is taking that on.
Yeah, nobody's really super into Ohio.
Yeah.
No,
It
it's just
is,
like
yeah.
my dream place.
Yeah.
Ohio.
Wesley and I have a group chat with a guy from Ohio, and we share Ohio memes with him.
You don't
and
even say
he
his
never
name.
defends it.
Yeah, he's just a guy from Ohio.
Yeah, we're not going to say his
Doesn't
I
name.
know
deserve
a
a
few of
name.
those. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, with that natural segue,
Nice.
let's play some music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Let you say this usually, so I feel weird saying it, but let the folks at home know what you sound like.
Yeah, I do normally say that.
That is the thing you say.
So I stole it from him.
But
Wow, what a dick.
but
You said it.
let's play a song, and then when you come back, we'll try to talk about your music career, but instead talk about birds or something.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's what I want to do. Yeah.
What's your first song?
My first song is a song called You. That's a big rock and roll song, but I'm going to play an acoustic guitar and really, really tug at you, you know? Yeah.
All right, and here's you.
I'm Dylan. This is my song, You. It's about needing some space. Sitting in the back seat of the van, you're looking for something I can get. You. I've never been one for talking, laying around and just walking. Do you feel it? Can you feel it, honey? There's nothing to it, you'll find there's nothing there at all. Oh, I've been running somewhere far away and living like I'm out of things to say. Would it make a difference if I'd stay home with you? With you? Thought it'd be better getting old. Thought I'd find my destination. It's not about living or dying. It's telling you, baby, I'm trying. Oh, I'm trying again and again and again. Do you feel it, honey? Oh, I've been running somewhere far away and living like I'm out of things to say. Would it make a difference if I'd stay? Oh, I've been running somewhere far away and living like I'm out of things to say. Would it make a difference if I'd stay? Oh, with you, with you, with you, with you. Oh, with you, with you, with you, with you.
And we're back. Some stuff happened while you guys were not here.
Did we talk about the song first?
Yeah, let's talk about the song first.
Yeah.
Because otherwise we'll forget because we're distracted at the moment.
You are distracted at the moment.
I wonder why.
So,
Yeah.
while Dylan played the song, some things went down. But first, the song that everybody just heard,
Yeah.
You.
Yeah.
You.
Talk about you.
It's my favorite thing to talk about. You is a song that I started writing in COVID time. There's a lot of, I work in the service industry as well. That was a time where you really weren't able to do that. So I had a lot of time to write, a lot of time to work on things, and I was really focused on writing rock songs. So much of my early stuff was kind of cut from either Americana folk, Dylan-y stuff, and then eventually kind of like Father John Misty, Randy Newman, soft rocky stuff. And I wanted to start writing things that I could play big rock songs. So the idea was like I wanted some like chunky riff, and I wanted to do that thing. And everything at that point was so stalled out. I felt very much, I think this is a theme I do a lot, but I felt kind of so much like wanting some space and wanting to go somewhere and do something. And I was just kind of reflecting on traveling, because there's a lot of like the first line is like in the backseat of the van, like thinking about touring and that stuff. None of that was going on, kind of missing that. And I think it's just kind of a yearning, like Springsteen-y rock song. I don't say that to compare myself to the greatest man alive, but it was like a reference, like I wanted something that just felt like that roll the windows down rock song that's like, I just want to go anywhere but here. And I think maybe a lot of us felt that at that time when you were so like hunkered down. Like, I just I want somewhere in some space for me that isn't this like daily head down to the gas station or whatever with my homemade mask and do my thing, right?
I started a band during COVID.
Oh, that's a good time to start one.
Yeah. Well, it was a solo project that became a band, but it started as a song during COVID about wanting to get out of here and go surf, basically.
It's so wild because like I thought COVID was like the best year of my life. I just got to stay home.
Yeah.
And I just wanted it to go on forever. Not the people dying part.
Right.
Just the
I
staying
didn't
at home
assume
part.
you meant
just
that.
to be clear.
Yeah.
Before I get canceled.
Right.
COVID itself wasn't great, but the effects of me getting to stay home for a year was amazing. It was never no one being like, "Hey, do you want to go?" Nobody said that. Yeah. And if they did, you would just be like, in a pandemic.
Yeah. Like, what's wrong with you?
You didn't have to.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
People got really good at canceling plans in COVID. People are better now at getting out of things they don't want to do.
Right.
Because it's almost like on one
practice.
Yeah, it's like on one side of your brain, it's, every day matters. It's unpredictable. I only want to do the things I care about. And the other side, it's like, I just know how to stay home.
Right.
I know how to stay home, and I know how to like tell you that I'm staying home. Yeah.
Yeah, like if I want to
tell
stay
you
home,
that you should stay home.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, because like if you're the one asking me to do something, you're the one in the wrong now, and that was great.
Yeah, that was good.
Because normally I'm the one in the wrong.
That was good. A lot of healthy discussions in that time. Yeah. And on the upside, post-COVID, all of that has simmered down in a way where people are talking to each other again.
So. A little bit, at least. It's a good start.
Yeah.
It's a little rough still.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But it's a lot chiller than it was.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
There's less of a sense of like we're in an emergency every second, and every day might lead to the peril of all mankind.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, so you really said it. That's not ideal. The peril of all man is not ideal.
No, I mean, depends who you ask.
Yeah.
Care about the rest of the planet. They're probably like, that would be ideal.
The Joker, the Joker just wants to watch the world burn or something.
Yeah, what's that guy doing,
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I didn't have
I thought you were about to say something. But okay, so the song is about, but it's about your time in COVID wanting to be elsewhere.
And I don't think it's like, it's not like super specific. It's not, trying to get out of the house, it's quarantine, it's it's not that. But it's just like touching that kind of a timeless thing, I think, in rock and roll, which is this like, gotta get out, gotta find this thing. Like, it's not for me here. I think that sentiment has been through so many great rock songs, and I make it sound again like I'm saying
you're on their level.
Yeah,
you were on that level. We're saying it here first, officially.
To be fair,
Dylan is on that level.
Where did that come from? To be fair, my favorite bit right now, I just turned 27, which is a big age.
You might die this year.
My favorite bit, and it does give a good kind of test of where people's humor is at. Is I've said to total strangers and to friends, God, I'm so stressed out because I just turned 27 and all the greatest rock stars die at 27. And I just try and watch to see it simmer. So
I
it wouldn't be unlike me to say something stupid like that. But
I have a similar problem.
you're one of the greatest rock stars of your generation.
True.
You should have led with that.
No, I like 10 years ago in some random conversation. I don't remember what the conversation was about, but somebody said, "You never know when you're gonna die." So
I said that to you?
yeah, they said, "You never know
Is
when
it
you're
the
gonna
Grim Reaper? That's not a normal thing people say.
die." I'm sure it made way more sense in the context.
He laid his scythe down.
You
and he
never
said-
know. ...
It
It was probably more like, you never know when you're gonna die, you know?
Yeah, it's true.
But and I
Does
said,
it make
well,
it better that you ascend in pitch?
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes it better if you send a pitch. And to which I said, maybe you don't.
Ah.
And I picked an arbitrary date, just
Yeah.
random out of the blue. The problem is that was 10 years ago, and that date's coming up.
Oh,
I've been
what
saying-
was it?
I've been saying the same date for 10 years, and it's March 12th,
March 12th.
2023.
I don't mean to be a jerk when I say this, but I think of all the dates you could have picked to die, that might be the worst one.
It's just a random nothing day.
I've got a feeling in my gut that that's just not going to be a good one.
I feel like I don't think the day he dies ever really like a great one.
Well, but March is never like, oh, March is here. March is such a slog of a month.
See, I used to think March was spring. I didn't know until I moved out of San Diego.
Yeah, that was crazy of you.
All the seasons I thought them wrong. Like I thought that like winter started in like November sometime.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
spring was like March. It's always warm by March.
Yeah.
Not here. Here it's
Yeah.
still that's when it's more likely to snow.
Playing by San Diego rules.
Yeah, it's just different. I just realized I never understood seasons or
Oh,
weather.
oh yeah. We, the not iconography, but the entire aesthetic of Christmas is snow
Yeah.
and winter.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
for
about that.
us in San Diego, where we didn't have snow or winter, the Christmas season gets all of that aesthetic. It's snow, winter, Christmas. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Right.
As soon as Christmas is over and it's after New Year's, we're like, all right, back to the program,
Yeah.
and you throw away the idea of snow.
Yeah.
And so I always thought
the idea of snow.
it's an idea.
Yeah.
So I always felt like winter ended. December was the end of winter. January, moving on.
Yeah,
we're in
moving on.
spring now.
Right, but it just started like a few days ago.
Oh yeah, me and my parents, when I was we're watching some show back in the day, some movie took place in the snow in a snowy tundra, and it said February, and I was like, why is it
It's
snowy
summer.
in February? Yeah, and
That's San Diego
actually
summer, yeah.
the coldest time, and I'm like,
Yeah.
that makes no sense. What are you
Right.
talking
Like
about?
Christmas is over. That's even the point.
Yeah.
But I used to
Why do you
drive
have snow anymore? It's not
Yeah.
festive.
I used to
Yeah.
drive for like Lyft or an Uber and whatnot
Sure, yeah.
years ago.
Speaking
San
of, do you mind
Diego.
taking me back?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks,
$20.
brother.
But and people would always fly in because it's San Diego, so everyone I picked up was from another place. Just like if you were to drive here, probably. Everyone's visiting, and I used to, I always talk to the passengers in my car. Some of them probably hated it, but yeah, fuck them. I do what I want in my car.
My car.
Yeah, in my
One of
car.
these
You're
days
telling-
I'm gonna have a podcast.
If you're sitting in my car, that's actually where I got the idea because
Yeah.
several people's like, you should start a thing.
Yeah.
But, I used to always ask people like, I was like, I love San Diego, and I'd always say, why don't you move here? And they'd always give the same two reasons. One, it's too expensive. Very valid. It's stupid.
I bet it is.
And the second was they would miss the 4 seasons. And I always said, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. We have the best seasons. We just got rid of the shitty ones. Because summer in San Diego is not summer here. Summer here sucks,
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
got the good ones. But to me, like hearing about like feet of snow, tornadoes, hurricane, like you might as well have told me like, and dragons were flying around. You gotta watch out for dragon season. Like it's
That's
not real.
April in Michigan
Yeah.
when the dragons.
The
come
dragons.
out, Yeah.
It's just not real to
Baseball
me.
season is starting. The dragons are coming.
You gotta watch out.
Yeah.
But all that stuff, yeah, it's like it might as well be make believe because like I grew up
Yeah.
somewhere that didn't, none of that existed.
Yeah.
So every year here, I'm blown away.
I apologize for such a guttural reaction when you said, they said 4 seasons, and I was like, that's stupid. I was like, you had the best seasons. No.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I understand. Michigan fall is,
Right.
that is the most special thing
Yeah, fall is magic.
across this world. I don't know how to touch it. I was in Rhode Island for October of this year, and that was really nice too.
Yeah, I've heard
Don't
all
get
the
me wrong.
Northeast is amazing.
Yes.
Right?
But Michigan in the fall, get yourself to Traverse City or something. It'll change you.
Before
Make you
the
a different
snow
man.
hits?
Make
Or
you
is
a
it
different
already...
man. No.
When does the
there's
snow
no
start?
Well, that's unpredictable.
Okay.
Usually you get through November, but you might
Okay.
get some big...
Might get a Thanksgiving snow.
Yeah, but in December at some point you're going to get...
And then it's
Walloped.
just a white wasteland.
February, I think, is the hardest month. Maybe like mid-January to like end of February is the hardest time to live in Michigan because it's just bad weather and everybody's moods are down because nothing's going on. Everyone's got seasonal affective. No.
Does everyone just kind of stay home? Or do people actually still go do?
No, we're a people. I talk about it like you've never talked to him from Michigan. I'm like, we're a people. We get up, we steel our backs, a little water on the face in the mirror.
Freeze?
It will, yeah, it will. Actually, I did have my friend the other day when the winter storm was going on. He works in Michigan, and he was like, there was a little bit of wet hair, and I went outside, and it's actually frozen. And he sent a video, and it was like,
Oh, no.
for real. So, yeah, you're kind of right. But those are hard months to get through. I could understand. And that time, no one wants to be in Michigan.
And when does it end?
That's also hard to say.
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
Does it end?
At some point, it ends, and everybody, it's like this moment where you see the sun is out, and you're like, I could open a window. But it's like 50 degrees, maybe
Sure.
45.
That's a big jump up
It's
from
a
like
huge
zero.
jump. Yeah, and you open up the windows and you're like, my God, this is the greatest land we've ever been.
Feel the warmth on your face like for the first time.
You do. And like people in Michigan go crazy. They're out in shorts immediately. It's not even I can go outside. It's like, no, I'm gonna. This is summer.
I
Man.
get that.
Yeah,
But
it's
you're talking
special.
until like March, April?
Oh, it's past March for
Oh,
sure. I
no.
mean, you probably in April you could be getting something nice.
So speaking
But
of weather,
5 months.
Yeah.
when we went on our break for that last song,
Oh, yeah.
Wesley called to my attention that there was a weird smell in the studio. We should just
before,
make sure it was okay.
Before we started the show, there was this
Oh, yeah.
big crack of thunder. And Wesley ran in here and was like, did you guys hear that? It was the loudest thunder I've ever heard in my life. And then we started the show.
Yeah.
We're like, no, Wesley, you're dumb.
And we did go
We're
outside.
not afraid.
We
yeah.
we went outside right before the show, and the wind and the rain were happening so hard that it was like, it was just flying down the street. It was
Yeah.
nuts out there.
It felt Florida-y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. Like
And-
hurricane, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we came back in, and we were kind of like, well, we might lose power any second. So then during our break, we smelled something, and I went around. I'm like, it does kind of smell fire-ish. And so we
Fire-ish.
checked. We checked in the backyard, and I'm like, maybe the guys upstairs had a fire pit going or something.
Yeah.
But their lights are off. But I saw like a little flashing that alerted me to the fact there was probably emergency vehicles on the other side of the house.
Yeah.
And so we're like, okay, something is on fire, and there's a fire truck here.
Yeah.
And my first thought was like, is our house on fire?
Right.
It really might be, and we wouldn't
Yeah.
know. And so
We would have just kept going if it had been for a long time.
for a while,
Yeah.
until we like came out of here and everything's on fire, and we're like, well, boys, like
was
the
a good run.
Titanic.
Yeah.
We would just sit here and play the cello and like,
Yeah.
well,
Burn.
boys, it's
Yeah.
been I've had the immense pleasure of talking with you.
Get the memory
tonight."
card. Get the memory card. Yeah.
We
We
need
can't
this to
lose
go
this
out.
footage.
We'd be
This,
trying.
this has to go out.
We'd be trying to upload this podcast with our last dying breath.
Okay,
So that
to be fair, though, if this was on fire and we saw some flames on the podcast and then got it out and uploaded it, that shit would go viral.
What is your problem?
Wesley, I need to start a fire.
we would
You
be
just have
like,
to ask that.
we would go. We would
I'm just
go
saying, that
viral
would blow the show up.
in our death.
Yeah.
Young Ritual
Yeah.
dying at 27. You would
Yes.
become posthumously.
Yes. The
incredibly
prophecy
famous.
Those
fulfilled.
Spotify streams would go through the roof, baby. Oh my God. Insurmountable.
Yeah. So we all went outside,
Yeah.
and there was like no less than 10 emergency vehicles. There was fire trucks, there was ambulances, and a house about 100 feet from where we are right now
And we're probably overlaying
was
the footage right now.
on fire. Yeah. And so if nobody died.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody did, we're cutting this out of the show.
Yeah,
So.
everybody do a couple of like very animated things so that it's easier for Wesley to cut it. He like knows it's like that's the
This is the part where you might want to cut. And so the house across the street is on fire,
Yeah.
and we were yeah, it was crazy. Anyway, I don't know. There was something to that story.
No,
Isn't
I think that was the whole
crazy?
thing.
That was it.
It was crazy. Like we went out. There's just a remarkable amount of fire trucks and ambulances and cops out there, more than you would think.
Yeah, it's more than seems efficient.
I mean, like I'm glad they got plenty.
Yeah, for sure.
You know,
yeah.
they got plenty in case they need help. But that's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's like the whole department.
It's been a very eventful podcast, and most of the events have happened outside of the podcast.
Wow.
Yeah, that's new. That's new.
We're going to have very different, most of the things you've said have been kind of stupid, but like,
yeah, the reviews are in.
it's been really fun when we're not recording.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
All right, well, just to topic shift us, I'm going to press this button that we don't know what it does.
Wait,
Okay.
I really want to press. Oh, you press the purple one.
The purple one.
Can we
wanna
like
do
a
it?
I want to
countdown?
press the purple one.
You're gonna
You
hit
can
them
do
at the
it.
same time and
Would
just see
you
who
like
clicks
to,
it faster.
Dylan?
You want to
Yeah,
press
I
the
would.
purple one because
Yeah.
I'm hoping
I don't
it's
want to
what I
press the
think it
purple
is.
one. I want to press the other one. What's the other one?
Well, you can see the colors
That
for
green
yourself.
one, I don't know what it is.
Well, there's two greens.
One's
This
yellow.
one? Yeah, I'm gonna hit that one.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, go for it.
That's it.
Is that it?
Is it
Is that
just-
short? you. Oh.
Oh, there
Okay.
it goes.
Yeah, it just like is fine.
You just got to beat it into submission.
This song is crazy.
Dude, you.
That's my new song.
You straight Rick rolled yourself.
Yeah, I did. You know what though? You led me straight to it. You
That's
said,
new. That's a
I
new
was
button.
like, I want to hit a new button, and you were like, how about this one? And I said, sure. That was the dumbest thing I've ever done. I trusted you
Never
from
again.
San Diego. I need a Michigander to guide me around this soundboard. He wouldn't do me so dirty.
Yo, folks, it's a really great button right there. I want to say that button. Not only have I never seen that button before in my life,
Never seen the button.
I mean, you've seen the physical
Yeah,
button,
what the
Ryan.
heck
It's
are
been
you
here every
talking about?
episode.
the sound effect is labeled epic.swf.
And you didn't know it was Rick? Jeez. That's what the audio file always says. If you were putting that up on Spotify, that's what the file would be.
I really want to press that purple one, but I'm going to wait.
You sure?
For another good
because
important moment.
Yeah, I need a moment for it. I don't know what it is, but I
Yeah.
have a suspicion.
Now there
No.
is, as always, another. But Wesley, you got a lot of new buttons on here. I appreciate
no.
that. There are new ones over
Yeah.
here. Too.
I did
but I
not
want the
have
first
time to
page.
change the names, so
Oh,
some might
okay.
be the
So you
same
know
as
exactly-
old ones, but with
Okay.
different.
There's a few, but
titles.
like, yeah. So anyway,
Anyways, enough about the buttons.
Disagree.
Hard disagree. Anyways, let's keep going into the buttons.
so okay. So what's your musical journey?
Oh,
That's just
yeah.
a weird open-ended question.
No.
Well, we used to say like, how'd you get into music? But we decided that was stupid, and I don't have a better one.
Yeah, no, it
But-
was good. It felt kind of like a bad Hinge opener. Yeah, it's like
You
a
fuck with the
sin.
Hinge?
I have. Although I people try. That would be more interesting than how's your weekend? You know?
Mhm.
Yeah. No. So how's your musical journey? And I'm like, wow, you're cute. No. I have a very musical family. My family is actually from the South. Pretty much my mom and my dad's side were both from the South. Moved to Michigan, different reasons, but GM was the main thing.
Mhm.
So a deep love of country music. Country
And for
gospel
people living in the
music.
year 2023, GM was a car company.
Yes, General Motors. Yes,
They-
yes.
Before Elon Musk in Japan, America made cars
Yes,
in
they did.
Detroit.
Yes,
And
they
Detroit
did.
was a city that people
Yes.
would want to live in.
And to be
Everything has been so offensive.
to be in Michigan, to live in an area that is a GM area, you were frowned upon to not be driving a GM car.
Really?
Yeah, it's like everybody's driving Chevys and stuff because you need.
Wasn't Ford there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
yeah.
like back
but I
then.
would rather drive a Chevy.
Yeah.
But yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So very, very country music family. I kind of started to learn. I always liked attention. Good thing that's changed. But get up, do some things in church. When I was like 8 or 9, I got really interested in old country music. My
Okay.
grandpa was teaching me, which funny enough, like we mentioned, Waylon,
Yeah.
huge artist for me growing up. Still a big influence on me now.
He used to own this house.
He's here right now.
Yeah.
You guys are not going to surprise me with Waylon. Come on, come in here. Come on, he's here for the intervention. Everybody else is. Come on in.
Dylan, cocaine's a hell of a drug.
It's like, don't you know anything else to say? It's like when they did the Tupac hologram at Coachella, but it's
You only do
Waylon.
one thing.
Yeah, that's where your whole budget went, was a Waylon hologram. That is gonna pay it for itself. So
Now I want one. We keep saying Waylon Jennings' old basement studio.
yeah, as if we're trying to bring his spirit here.
Conjure.
Waylon Jennings' old basement studio. Waylon Jennings' old basement studio.
It's
3 times in the
all-
mirror.
It's all a part of Intervention Hideout.
Yeah. Coming this fall. But yeah, like Waylon and Willie and George Jones and Merle Haggard and like all these people, like that was what I cut my teeth on. And I was like showing promise. I took to guitar really easily. I was writing songs around 9, and my family was like, we are gonna make you like a child star. You love
wow.
this. So they take me to Nashville, Music City, USA. I did expect like a crowd of thousands to be joining me here.
It is.
It's
No.
fucking Christmas morning.
It's the woo for me. It's the woo for me. Yeah. Hell of a foot.
I'm really glad that was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that was risky. It was risky. I did think you were going for Rick. And I was like, that ain't country music. That ain't what I cut my teeth on. They'd take me down here and I'd play literally anywhere. Like I played in a wax
You
museum.
started at like 9?
At 9.
Oh.
Yeah. Just I was a little yodeling kid. I always make jokes that I was like Mason Ramsey 1.0 because I was doing exactly that thing. Little rhinestone suits, playing Hank
wow.
Williams. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was decked out. Grandma was making the suits. I actually ended up playing at the Grand Ole Opry as a 9 and 10-year-old boy.
What?
I played at the New Opry House and I played at the Ryman. And I got up and I played some Hank Williams songs, did my yodeling, did my thing. Is that the...
Wait, you said yodeling twice now. You yodel?
I yodeled, yeah. I can't do it now, I don't think.
Because that was my next question. Do you yodel right now?
Well, see, my voice changed. I didn't sound like this at 9.
No?
I sounded close, but I didn't sound quite like this at 9. yeah.
Can you do it better than that?
I mean, you've mentioned yodeling. We're going to keep asking you to yodel.
Yeah, you're
Try.
right.
We
Yeah.
don't even hardly know what it is.
Stay tuned for the next song. No, yeah. No, it was like very much it was cute, but like
Yeah.
I made a record. It's like a 10-song record called Old Soul, Young Heart that exists.
This episode might be called Old Soul, Young
Let
Heart.
me tell you,
100%.
the heart is younger than it used to be, but the soul is still cryptic. Yeah, so kind of got all of that going. I was really into it. It was exciting. It is a lot of work, and it's a lot of pressure on a boy of that age. Then I turned like 12. Voice started to change as things do. I saw
Yeah.
Death Cab for Cutie, and I was like, game over. I want to be in a band. I'm an indie rock guy now. But like, I think it took me a while to come back to that music and love it and respect it again and be like, this is actually great. Like these songs are great. And the attitude with them and the history with them is like just as important. It's great. But for a while I was like, it's like ashamed. It was like old country past thing. And like people remembered that I did that. I'm like asking me questions like, can you play that Long Black Train? Like, 'cause I used to sing that Josh Turner song and stuff.
Yeah.
I just kind of made me feel like I wasn't getting my own identity. So I like went hard in hollowing that out for myself.
Ben Gibbard would never sing Long Black Train.
That's right, yeah. Although that would be an interesting version if they do that on that Postal Service tour or something, Just a lot of beeping.
I want to be at that Postal Service tour.
Yeah, so does everybody that looks kind of like us.
But they haven't announced any dates close to here.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a bummer.
What's the closest one? Is it like Georgia or something?
I don't know.
North Carolina,
I need to look,
probably.
but I feel like
I
they
thought
had
everybody
like,
comes to Nashville.
I saw like
That's what I thought.
Minnesota.
Like it's Music City.
Oh,
And it's tough to
Minnesota.
want to buy tickets because you're like, are they just going to do that thing people do now where they announce more tour dates later and they do like a rolling announcement?
I bet they are. Because it
As they
doesn't
just
make any
sell out and
sense.
they'll add more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are they not? And then we're just screwed.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
It's tough.
everybody that I know has mentioned that tour at some point because it's like on the tip of everybody's tongues because they're just like, there's something for you
Yeah.
if you've ever cared about indie music.
I saw their the Postal Service's like 10-year reunion.
Oh my God.
When they did.
So you're being greedy.
Yeah. I see
We
it
already
again.
did this.
Go to see the 20-year.
Yeah, knock it off.
So I saw them in Phoenix, actually.
Okay, and you were at the airport.
Yeah.
Right, stranded there.
Cool. Yeah, they were at the airport. They were playing at the Phoenix airport.
But to see Death Cab and the Postal Service together,
Yeah, that would be
mind-blowing.
crazy. Yeah, and like Jenny Lewis is going to be there with the
Of
Postal
course she
Service
is.
set. And it's like, I love Jenny Lewis.
Of course she is.
Yeah, I'm nervous that I might run into her at some point in Nashville because they say she lives in Nashville.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah,
We should have her on the show.
huge fan. If you ever do, let me know.
We will. We'll have you come.
Yeah.
I have a signed Postal Service shirt from
Yeah.
that show,
Oh,
and it's signed by the other guy,
that's what it says. Love.
Jimmy
The other guy.
Tamarello.
Yes.
And
yeah.
he's the guy who did all the programming. He goes by D and Tell. That's
Yeah,
his
yeah.
like artist name.
Yeah.
But anyway, not quite Ben Gibbard. But guess what? Jimmy was willing to come outside and talk to everybody, be super friendly.
Yeah.
He was really nice. And he talked to me, and I asked him what synths he used on it, and he told me, and I forgot. And he signed my shirt.
That's pretty cool.
More than we could say about you, Ben Gibbard,
Yeah.
calling you out on the
Yeah, what the hell,
on the
man?
Waylon Jennings Ghost Cast.
The Waylon Jennings Ghost Cast.
Maybe that's the name of the episode now.
Yeah,
That's
hey,
ridiculous.
if you ever need a little content, a little artistic direction, hit your boy up.
Got us.
We may rename the show to the Waylon Jennings Ghost Cast.
Yeah. Music Right Out no longer.
No doubt in my mind that if you did that, that would go down as the most important thing I do with my career. As long as you give me some sort of credit that I could hang my hat on, I don't need money. I just need attention. To me, it's the same.
Every week you would go, this is the Waylon Jennings Ghost Cast as named by Dylan Grantham.
AKA Young Rich, and then I'd come in through the door, and I'd be like, "Come on, guys, special guest."
Oh, man.
Nothing to talk about because I've been on 16 weeks in a row.
Okay, back to the
Yeah.
Grand Ole Opry. So
Yeah.
did you play at where it is now at Opryland, or did you play where it was at the Ryman?
I did
Did
both.
both.
Yeah, I did
Oh.
it 2 times.
You already
So
said
you
that,
said
Ryan.
that. That's
Yeah.
cool. I'm, you guys, I'm on my
I guess
third,
I'm not feeling that respected.
I'm on my third Kirkland signature hard
Yeah.
seltzer.
No one even noticed I got a haircut. This is jacked up. Yeah, no. Funny enough, playing at the Wax Museum, I met a member of the Opry. He was named Mel McDaniel. He was a bit like 80s country was his thing. He was an Opry member, and he just like petitioned with the head of the Opry at that time. Like, can this kid take one of my songs for my 2 songs on the set? And I said, sure.
Wow.
He had a
Yeah.
2-song set,
Yeah,
and he
was like,
gave you half.
yes. And I
Damn.
believe it was the Ryman. I can't remember if it was the Ryman or the Opry House, but one of them I got a standing ovation. I got to play a second song.
Wow.
Yeah, which
You didn't
for
steal
a
that other guy's
9-year-old.
second song, did you? 'Cause
He'd already played his song. No,
he
I
gave you
but
one, you just stole the other.
the funny thing is I do have the set list, and he signed something on it. It was like, stole the show. Maybe he meant that in a different way.
Yeah.
You stole my show, and you'll rue the day.
He's
just-
coming for you.
I just see this like a Rick and Morty episode, and that guy like going off and just like crying in the alley and
Yeah.
throwing down his guitar and
Yep.
going on to live a very sad life.
And I'm 9 years old and walking around with the most confidence anybody has ever had. My chest is poked out. I'm walking up to Dierks Bentley, and I'm like, "Hi, I'm Dylan."
But you know that.
Did you really?
I did, yes. I was a big Dierks Bentley fan, and I saw Dierks, and I was like, "Hey, Dierks, I'm Dylan." 9.
And what did he? And what did he say? Fuck you!
Yeah, he actually picked me up like a football, and he tossed me down the hallway. My grandma caught me, and I came right back, and I said, "I'm Dylan."
That's how you earned his respect.
I'm the next Dierks, yeah. And then he picked me up like a child, and he carried me onto the stage.
Nursed you and everything. He's like, you're mine now.
Bentley nursed you from his cowboy hat.
I mean,
Yeah,
sure, we'll go with
Yeah,
that.
I grew the most gorgeous gold locks. I got the curliest hair, and I was just his little boy.
So you
Only
had-
in the Music City, am I right? Let me hear it in the back.
so you-
I can hear him. You got,
Wait, oh, you hit 2.
Oh, that
I was so
a-
confused.
That was a double press. That was a.
Followed by a Rick roll.
yeah, if you time that right, that would go off.
Titty sprinkles.
Thank you, Morgan Freeman. So,
He's the sponsor of the show. He's the
This show is
crowdfunder.
sponsored by Morgan Freeman.
We're trying to get some time with Morgan Freeman. Trying to get some Mott sticks and trying to get some Morgan Freeman.
Imagine if Morgan Freeman just started sponsoring podcasts. He's like, people don't talk about Morgan Freeman enough anymore.
Absolutely. There was a time when it was like all over memes and people were having fun. It's been a minute.
Yeah, bring Morgan back. That's
Bring
what
him
I
back.
Say.
Give him his due.
Let's get hats made.
And give me my due. I played the Grand Ole Opry 2 times. Give me my respect. Give me my
So-
flowers.
So you lived this storied career as a child yodeler, friend of Dierks Bentley, stealer
Child of Dirk
the Opry.
Yeah. Stealer. Thief. Yeah. Nothing but a thief.
And then fucking Ben Gibbard ruined it all.
He ruined it all.
It was like,
yeah.
if heaven and hell decide that we both are satisfied, and you were like,
Yeah.
You're like, I'm done with this shit.
Yeah. Well, it was actually screwed up too because it was like the Narrow Stairs tour and Rah Rah Riot and Cold War Kids were the openers.
oh, I
So
saw
it was
Def
just
Cab
like-
and Rah Rah Riot
Was it
at
this time?
the Red Rocks.
Was it the same time?
2009.
Yes.
So,
the
yeah.
same tour.
You were at the
Yeah.
same tour.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
I
the
was
same
not
show.
at Red
Okay.
Rocks. I was in Lansing, Michigan. It is different.
Did you ever feel like you're just looking up at the same tour?
There's something special about that, no? Like Jason from Michigander, like we do the same thing. Like we found out, we became really close friends in the last few years. We found out we went to all the same shows as kids. We had no clue who the other person was, but it's like we both saw Coldplay. We both saw U2. Like both saw The Killers, like all at these same shows.
Weird.
Wow.
We had- oh, yeah, I was gonna say, we had
both
that.
saw Britney Spears at the circus
No.
tour.
Excuse
We
me?
did, but we saw that together.
Okay, well that's different. Yeah,
No,
that's-
but we
you guys
both
like
saw-
became friends that night. You saw each other across the room and said, "That's my guy."
It's like, you have a water bottle filled with vodka? I have a water bottle filled with vodka.
Yeah, we got real drunk at that show.
I bet you did. That is not a sober
It was
show.
great.
Yeah.
No, but we went to separately before we knew each other to Taking Back Sunday opening for Jimmy Eat World at the Cox Arena.
It was actually a co-headlining tour. But yeah,
Whatever.
we sure did.
That's a good clarification.
Okay.
Also,
Yeah,
give the
everybody's
flowers
in.
to Taking Back Sunday and Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, to both.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
From the,
they could be
Nosebleeds.
listening. Okay.
they listen to every episode.
Well, so they're the other sponsors.
Show
Morgan
is
Freeman,
sponsored by-
Taking Back Sunday, and Jimmy Eat World.
Yeah, perfect lineup.
That was incredible.
But yeah, that was before we knew each other. We both went to that. He swapped off
Yeah,
from the
just
button page of buttons, so we have fresh buttons to press.
new
Yeah,
fresh
we need some
buttons.
fresh buttons.
Got it.
buttons.
Got tired of getting rickrolled.
So okay, so so that was I love on the show when we like discover something and I'm like, I wouldn't have assumed that you had a whole backstory of being a child country
Yeah.
yodeling star at the Grand Ole Opry,
Yeah,
son
Yeah.
of Dierks.
it
So-
is funny. Like again, imagine like the rhinestone suit. This was legit.
So like, I mean, at that age, that would be like. What Wesley? You have a microphone. What are you trying to signal?
He was trying to silently and stealthily indicate that we should play the second song. That was been enough time that we should.
Okay.
And yet, all of his practice of being quiet and stealthy about it was ruined by Ryan. But it's okay.
Because I didn't understand. I just saw him go.
No, he went like this.
Oh,
Yeah, he did
that's
a
the
good
classic.
But
one.
Wesley's only out of the corner of my eye, so I can't see it. You're
true.
the
Yeah.
director.
I think I have the best look.
You're
at
right, I am the
Wesley.
director.
Yeah. You have a really great Wesley.
I've got the Wesley.
If you want to talk
view.
to him, you can.
Thank
He's-
you so much,
he has a
Wesley.
mic.
Hello. Oh,
That's
I can
awesome.
see Wesley.
The
Hey,
Wesley cam.
We can see you
Wesley
too.
can.
Oh shoot! It talks.
A day in the life of Wesley. It's like a GoPro situation. What I'd pay for that?
Not a lot. Not much.
No,
A few bucks max.
I'd
So-
say $15 to $20. Yeah.
So I want to talk about how you became a child yodeler to the man standing before us now,
Yeah.
who's about to die as a part of the 27 Club.
That's so true.
As we reflect on this, the last
let
years
us-
of
Wait,
your
when's
life.
your
Let us
birthday?
reflect. My birthday is November 11th, 11/11.
Oh, yeah. I'm
Yeah.
number
Make
9.
a wish. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you have a few more months left. You got like a good.
Oh yeah,
9,
I'll make
10
it
months.
till November 23.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Or March 2023, the 12th.
March 12th. That's
Yeah.
that's when I'm done.
I just completely went out of sequence. I was like March 2023, 12. I am broken. I'm a broken man.
What are you, British?
Yeah, I think.
So, before we come back and
Michigan.
have these two people who are fated to die this year talk,
Might be the last time.
we've got we've got another song What are you going to play for us, Mr. Dylan?
This is a song about one of the worst years of my life. For real. It's called Lost Years.
All right, here's Lost Years.
Yeah. So much wasted time. Worrying about me and mine. Well, you've been on the line, dying. My reflection hides myself. Wanna feel as pretty as everyone else. My time to buy, my time to sell. Baby, I'm trying. Can't help but feel alone when everything you've ever known was something breathing down your neck. Brimstone and fire coming for your head. So I thought I'd mess up my mind. 'Cause someone said it might open my eyes. But all in all that I lost was a Wednesday. 'Cause back when I was just 16 and I was burdened by some fantasy, like a band of horses on a trampoline. Guess it'll come back someday. Can't help but feel alone when everything you've ever known is something breathing down your neck. Brimstone and fire coming for your head. Your couch and I can't stand your bed. With all these lost years, you ain't lost yet. All these lost years, you ain't lost. Look, get in here, kick him out of the chair.
All of a sudden, the ghost of Dylan and the ghost of Waylon come together holding hands.
Oh my God, we share one passionate kiss and we just go into the afterlife. That's all I ever wanted. You guys made my dreams come true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the thumbs. And we're back.
It's awkward timing for him. We're back.
Yeah,
I mean,
and we're
mid
back.
Burt's Bees. Yeah.
So that was a song about the worst year of your life.
Yeah.
What year was that?
Probably 2019.
Okay, so not the COVID years.
No, isn't
right
that funny?
before the COVID years.
Yeah, this was like bad personally.
So like things were looking up, and then COVID hit.
Yeah, actually.
That sucks.
Was
Yeah.
it when Dirks disowned you as a son?
Yeah, he sent me a strongly worded letter, and he's like, "Stop
Please
telling
stop.
people that you're my son." I am Grammy Award winning. I assume maybe he's not. Definitely CMA Award winning.
Definitely
Artist.
has to
Yeah,
be.
has to be. I don't want to disrespect anyone, but
Your
it's
own
probably
father.
not Grammy. My own father. I don't want to disown my father.
Right. No
He's
patricide
disowned
here.
me. No. Not on this podcast.
No, that's for next episode.
Yeah, amen. Yeah.
But okay, but you also mentioned so that
Yeah.
year your life said was relationship based.
Yeah, it was just a lot of friendships going through a really tough time that I felt like I had to learn how to navigate it. I was navigating a lot of things I'd never navigated before. And I mean, I guess in 2019, I'd have been like 23 or 24, but it was just real adult stuff that I was trying to figure out where all of this fit into my life. And I was still hustling so hard and like, because I'm still hungry, I'm hustling, but like when you're in that early 20s, it's a different kind of
You have so
thing.
much energy.
You have so much energy, you're so intense. You think everything you do is so important. So it's like all just on my shoulders.
If you're 23 right now, it's not. What you're doing is not that important.
No, it's not.
You
but
should should try anyways. But
You really think it is, though.
yeah,
You do, and like you, no one can possibly understand how important and good you are at what you're doing when you're 23.
that didn't fit at all.
Yeah, what the
Ryan.
hell
That
was-
was
I've got news for you. You're mine now. You belong to me.
The funniest
do
part is
not
that it's
fit
like
the
panned to the left.
Arnold's to our left.
But yeah, it was just like a really hard year, and I don't know, it felt like that was the year that pushed me into like I'm an adult and I have to know how to handle these things and how to organize them and how to decide what is for me and what isn't for me, and to recognize that there can be relationships and friendships that I have to just put away and say this doesn't serve me anymore, and I don't have to make this work because that's not fair to me.
right.
And it's hard. So I'm a person that believes in people and wants to just constantly be giving benefit of the doubt on that stuff. But I feel like that, not that I'm cynical now, but I feel like that did change for me. And I was like, it's okay to have times in your life where you say, I'm not for this right now. I can't deal with this. It's not my responsibility to deal with this. I wish you no malice, but like, this is not
Yeah.
my problem.
Yeah. I think it took me until I got married to figure that out.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
How old were you when you got married?
how old am I now? 35. So 28, 7,
Oh
27,
my
28.
God. Yeah.
Married like about seven, almost 8 years.
Congratulations on that
Thanks.
many years of marriage.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Close
But
to a decade.
but I mean, Ryan can probably attest to this. I was always like whatever you want to do, I'm down. Whatever you want to do, I'm down. If whatever. If you can't afford something, I'll buy it. If you can't do it, I'll do it. I was always that kind of guy.
Times were great.
Yeah, because when we started hanging out,
Britney
like,
Spears
had a-
shows
I
were
had
flowing
a-
like wine.
I had a job at
Oh.
7-Eleven.
Oh.
And making the big bucks, and he was working for
Lay it
himself,
on me.
making slightly less.
Weak.
And so back then, like, we would go out to beer, and he's like, I don't have any money. I'm like, I got you. It didn't matter. Like, I didn't care at that time in my life, you know? And then later, he paid for me a lot, but it's just how it goes back and forth. But
And you were my employee.
that was later I worked for you. But though when I tell people, I don't tell them I worked for you. I said, I used to detail cars.
Yeah.
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 But then when I got married, I realized.
I remember the day you were like, crap's going down at the 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
was
want to
like-
be here anymore. Can I work for you?
Yeah, I was sitting
And
right
like,
next to
yeah,
him at
fuck
church. And I was like, I'm not going, I'm going to quit.
Yeah.
But we'll work for you. He's like, all right. I was like, I just called and quit. I think I just texted him, actually.
It was the start. It was the start of a great time. We started smoking menthol reds together. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, that is the summer of menthol.
But then once I got married, my whole mentality changed. I kind of like, oh, this is the one person who I need to do all that for.
Yeah.
And kind of like, fuck everyone else.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know?
not paying for your beer anymore.
I still will buy beer for once in a while.
Do you know?
I love your sister.
Do you know? Do you know how many beers I've bought for you since that time?
A lot.
So many.
Do you
Yeah.
keep a tally? You sound like you know
Yeah,
exactly.
Jesus.
No,
Christ,
'cause we
Ryan.
went through a phase. We went through a phase where you could take or leave having beer, and you're like, it's fine. I'd rather not leave.
Oh,
if
so you
you
would
want to
bring it.
get beer, that's fine. And I always am down to go.
Yeah.
So I brought the beer for so many years. Yeah. And I repaid
What a
you
great
for every
service you've
goddamn
done.
beer Thursday.
You're a
Thank you.
patriot.
Thank you.
You're a patriot, and not enough people are saying that about you, and I will make sure I let them know.
Patriot.
Everyone I meet, a patriot.
Ryan Patriot.
Yeah, that's right.
So Dirks had sent you the strongly worded letter.
Yep.
And so what the fuck did you do after yodeling? Like you stopped the yodeling.
Right, now that you're like, I want to rock.
Now I want to rock, and I'm 12, and that's when rock stars start rocking. I got in a band with my cousins that kind of played in church, but also just became, in my like 15, 16, it was just an indie rock band. We played around Flint all the time, and that was kind of what I cut my teeth on, writing more of that stuff, getting some time on the road, doing that thing. I always thought that Kings of Leon was like the model for me because I just looked at that and I was like, I want to just be young and going everywhere, and like this will be my career. So I did that for quite a while in different formations. Then eventually when that band started to slow down, I was still writing a ton. I felt like I was really hitting my stride. And so I started Young Ritual as just really a project to keep writing and releasing more than we were releasing. And as it just kind of started to dissipate more and more, it just became my thing. And it also started as a solo fully thing, and then I filled a band in around me, even though I'm still like the full artistic direction and I write and I make all the decisions. I do have a band with me when I play live now. That's how you make rock. You need a drummer.
Right, you can't rock just by yourself.
You can,
but it's not like
so much work. And I kind of used to do that. I used to be a little more avant-garde, and I would like kick my show off by just like looping all this stuff on my guitar, and I'd drop my guitar and I'd go out in the crowd of people and I would like writhe around in the floor and sing.
Whoa.
What?
Yes.
I don't like. I've only known you for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but it feels like a lifetime.
At least. But in that time, I can't. It's hard to picture. Like it's hard because
I still do that.
You seem like
as
a
part of my
quieter, a
set.
little bit of a quieter dude.
I don't see you as a writher.
I'm a big writher. I go into
Straight worming it
headspace
up.
live. It's very different. I'm like, I try to correspond to some sort of madman mentality, I think. But yeah, a lot of rolling. I actually got blasted on Twitter one time early on when I was like just trying to cut my teeth and do this thing. I was opening for a band called Current Joys, and big teenager crowd. And these people on the front were kind of like not into what I was doing, I could tell. And I never would like bother people. I'm not like going to come up to someone that's upset and be like, hey, I'm out in the crowd. You know, like I know to avoid people.
Yeah.
But they got on Twitter and like tagged the promoter after and were like, hey, went to see Current Joys tonight. Opener was so bad we left before them. Rolling on the ground was pretty funny though.
Oh.
And I just sent back 3 like heart emojis. And they liked my tweet in response. So I think I've always had kind of a brashness to me where it's like I just don't ever want to do anything boring. I'd rather go out on stage and have the whole room think that I was just an idiot than think that it was like, oh, that was fine. I'd rather
You want it to be memorable.
Yeah, and I like want to make some sort of an impact. So I think art is about making people feel something. So if I'm making you feel like if you
Uncomfortable.
laugh at me, if you laugh at me because you're like, God, what is he doing? Cool, I made you think about something. And if you get what I'm doing and you're like, I really appreciate that he put himself out there like that. Cool, like I made you feel something.
Now, do you like it a bit more if some people feel like it's a bit cringy?
Like,
you know,
I'm not
do you,
really
like,
a
eat that
troll.
shit up? You know what I mean?
I'm not really a troll, but I believe so much in myself that like it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Like I can see it and I can be like, cool. Like you can have that opinion, but I'm not gonna be like, dang, what did I do wrong? No, I'm just being me. And when you're like just authentically being yourself 100% and you like yourself, which I'm so thankful to be at a point in my life where I can say I like myself. There's work to do to get to that. Like when you hit that point, you can just like stand behind yourself. And as long as you're not faking anything you're doing, as long as you're just being you and everything you're creating and what you're doing, the criticism can be accepted if it's like good constructive criticism, or it can like roll off you because you know at your core, this is who I am and like there's nothing wrong with who I am. Yeah.
Well, I've got news for you. You are mine now. You belong to me.
That's Dirks. That's Dirks. You belong to me. And he'd give me a big old hug. Papa Bear. That's what I called him.
Papa Bear.
Just
Can
Papa
everybody,
Bear Bentley.
if you're listening right now, please tweet. Hashtag
funny
Papa
is-
Bear.
Somebody get Dirks. Get this in front of Dirks.
What's funny is like between the last time I pressed that and this time, I forgot that that's what it was.
What did you think it was going to be?
Because it's labeled "You Belong," and after that whole thing, after that whole
You were like so perfect.
sentimental thing you said about if you believe in yourself and
You were
you
gonna- you
really
thought you were gonna do
believe,
something
it's good.
nice.
Yeah, and it's called "You Belong," and I was like, "You belong," and then it
It's
was
the
Arnold.
plainest like youth pastor voice you've ever heard. He's like, "You belong."
No, the better one, Ryan, would have been, he's just sitting there like, and now I like
I know
myself and I
exactly
believe
what's
in
gonna
myself.
He's pulling his cock out. Wesley, do you
My
need
favorite button.
do you need for another soundboard option? Do you need a like really good clear? You belong from me, so you can just like take that.
There it is. There it is.
Cool. I
Yeah.
just wanted to make sure. I'm trying to leave you guys with content. If I'm leaving you with a new podcast title and one perfect clip of sound, I've done it.
You've done your job.
I've done it. I've done it well. I won't lie.
Now, outside of your illustrious music career,
Nice.
from rhinestones to rocker,
Playing Scrabble.
Oh wow!
I know,
Oh,
you like that
wow.
one?
Yeah.
How
Came
long
right
did you
to
think
me.
about that? Did that
came
just
right
come
to
to
me.
you?
went, ooh.
like
nice.
like a lightning bolt burning
Squeeze
down
this
a
in
house?
somewhere.
Yeah, or what?
But outside of music,
Yeah.
what do you do? Do you have any other hobbies
yeah,
or
I'm-
anything? Or are you just all music all the time?
Are you a Michigamer?
I'm a Michigamer. I do play games. I play less than I did during COVID, but I'm a huge basketball fan.
Really?
I am about as big of an NBA fan as you could meet. I watch basketball probably 3-ish nights a week.
I'm
What's
pretty
your
sure
favorite
I've
team?
never seen a basketball game.
You what?
Wesley.
What's your favorite team?
Oh, before I even moved here, I was a big Grizzlies fan, so that's nice to just be around that world. I'm still trying to go to Memphis to see a game. Got to be a Pistons fan because that's home. But I also love Milwaukee Bucks too. But I'm just a big fan of the league. I'll watch almost
And those are all
anything.
basketball teams?
Those are all
This
basketball
shows how
teams.
little I know about. I don't think I've ever seen a basketball game
They're
in my
basketball
life.
teams. I play fantasy basketball with some friends.
I knew that was a
and-
thing. I guess that makes sense. You hear about fantasy football, you don't hear about
Yeah,
others.
yeah.
But I guess
And
it makes sense.
yeah, it's what it is. But that's a big thing for me. Other than that, I just ghost people. I just
Sure.
that's a big hobby of mine.
Gotta do it.
I try to poison every relationship in my path,
Yeah.
and I try to walk around like I'm somebody. that I'm doing in my other free
Wow.
time.
And that really fills up your time.
It fills up your time and it leaves an impression. It's again, are you feeling something from what I'm doing? Are you feeling it now, Mr. Krabs?
No matter what it is.
Yeah, no matter
Performance
what. it is.
artist.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all coming back to some pretentious spot to make you specifically uncomfortable. Is it working?
So I was watching your YouTube, and there was like an older song. It was from at least a year ago, maybe a little longer.
Yeah.
I don't know, Wesley, if you could pull it up and just it had like extremely dramatic visuals.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
the thing that stood out the most.
Probably
the thing that stood out the
Rosary,
most to me,
yeah.
I'm like the lighting. Which Wesley, you're super into lights and stuff. You'd probably
He goes, yeah, I like lights.
I said that
Cameras,
like somebody who
lights.
knows nothing about film. I just thought the lighting was so dramatic, and it was really well done. But the video, like the person standing in front of me, I wouldn't expect to have such a dramatic. Like I don't know how to explain it. I'm like waiting for Wesley
Yeah.
to pull it up so he can see and I can kind of confirm. But it was like
Yeah.
dramatic.
What
as hell.
song do you think this is?
I think it's Rosary because there's a video. There's blood. Was there blood?
Yes, there
Yeah,
sure.
there was blood.
There will be blood.
There will be blood. Let
There
me tell
was
you,
be blood.
my family liked this video a lot. It made them feel very comfortable. The first promo came out and they were like, This is actually funny. This was a friend of mine who's a great filmmaker and cinematographer named Matthew Pimentel. He just had this video concept, and I was the first person
Who
that was
liked
an
it.
artist that was crazy enough to do it. Yeah.
Now, we
Straight
won't
up.
be able to hear it, right? But
Right. but you're getting the vibe.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think it sounds like? If you could just describe, like, what do you guess? Give me a melody. Give me a song. Hope you don't mind. Give me a song.
Okay. I'm gonna try to lip sync it here. Wesley, can you full screen that real quick? For the listeners at home, it's very darkly lit. Like a lot of things are in the shadows, and I always feel like that's a really bold move when people allow most of the content to be in the shadow.
Yeah.
Because when I've been behind a camera, I've
You made
never
it smaller.
felt so bold as to do that.
Yeah.
I can't see my cursor.
Oh, right, because he can't actually see the screen.
Oh, this is fun.
Oh, there we
There it
go.
goes.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
me.
Here we go. Here's my melody.
I feel like so far it's like a horror movie trailer.
I cannot see.
This is from Les Mis, I think.
The light between us fails.
All I did was steal some bread.
You cannot be redeemed, my friend.
This is right.
The bread was.
What has this show devolved into?
You knew this song. You've really listened. You did your work.
If you'd only give me your bread back.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Yeah. Thank you. That was the honor of my life.
So if one tries to YouTube Young Ritual, you will see the bread song.
Yeah. Make sure that's what you search. You're gonna find good.
Yeah, bread
good
song.
stuff. Bread song. Parentheses, bread song. Yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt with when we had Seth on,
Yeah.
because he played for us Holiday
Yeah.
acoustically.
Great.
And I was
Yeah.
like, that song is
He's so
dope.
good. Yeah.
And I had listened to it on the drive over, and I'm like, this song is cool.
Yeah.
And I went and watched the video when I got home. And I was like, oh, this song is different. I was like, a completely
acoustic
different
version's
vibe.
like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about pressing play.
Yeah, it's
Right.
kind
and
of.
taking a holiday.
And then you watch
then
the video.
It's
He's also like, Seth is one of those like really like, he's just a lot of charisma, you know? And he's like got that like bright personality like when you meet him and stuff. So it is funny. Like he's such a creative person. He's just like going at 10. And that's like for sure. Like I do feel like that kind of a video comes from the same spot. It's like I'm taking a risk because I want to do something different in this space than other people are doing. And it's not an insult to anybody that's doing something that's not this thing, because this isn't the only thing. It's just I'm trying to hollow out my thing. And yeah, he's like so awesome for doing that. I feel like everything he does, you can tell he's pushing himself. And I just don't think it's worth making art that you're not pushing yourself to make.
That's something I really appreciate about him and listening to his songs,
Yeah.
and even a song he's released since the podcast, Machines. Have
That
you listened to
song is
that
so
yet?
great.
No, I'll have to go check it out.
You have to go check it out. So
I see-
that
we should make this the Mooney cast.
Yeah,
because
this is
I
the
was
Mooney cast.
just freaking out about that song, and I made like everyone in my house. I was like, "Listen to this song today. This is like so much more interesting than like."
it's so
Whatever else you're
interesting.
doing.
And and it starts off like the song kind of starts with the kind of like the harder edge Mooney,
Yeah.
where it's like
Harder
and everything
edge
is super
Mooney.
distorted and just like crazy and
Yeah.
wild. And then all of a sudden it comes into the chorus and it's like very melodic, which is kind of
Yeah.
like a
Don't spoil the ending.
it's kind of like a 2004 metal thing to do, where all of a sudden you got this like it's like kind of hard, like it's very aggressive, and then all of a sudden you get into this sweet.
Yeah,
I feel like da, da, ba,
yeah, and he's got such a great voice.
he has
too.
such a good voice,
Crazy vocal control.
and you're like, oh wow, and then all of a sudden
Oh.
it's and then it like breaks back into the like super metal stuff again.
I don't know if you know this, but we have a musical artist sitting right in front of us.
That's true.
Wesley.
About him, we're on the Mooney. We're on the Mooney now.
We're talking about Wesley. I've heard Wesley's. Wesley, do you make music? Is that a thing? Would that be possible?
I do not.
That just surprises me because I can like picture
all
your
visuals.
EP, and it is a winter vibe.
I think that's just because he's wearing a beanie.
It is.
Or it
do-
took if you're in Canada.
Every winter, I listen to a lot of Bon Iver, and
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
not ashamed of that.
You shouldn't be ashamed of it.
Wesley, just try to make up a song right now. Let's just see if Dylan's right about you.
Yeah, make up a song about my. That's like my song.
That is 100% not happening.
Oh.
I feel that.
So I learned that you're not a risk taker, which that must be why you're not an artist.
I appreciate the not giving into peer pressure.
I am not good at music.
Wesley's not a risk taker.
Oh, nice, nice. Your
You heard it here
delivery.
first.
Yeah, yeah. He really didn't even try. He didn't come close to trying. He just said no.
I feel that. I respect it. It's just like
Yeah.
a New Year's Eve party.
I'm gonna respect Wesley's
know?
boundaries. Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
should.
So, okay, so we had fun talking about Mooney, which we appreciated the creative
We
risks
love
he's
Mooney.
taking. Back to you. So, if something's not lighting on fire, yeah. So, okay, what is your like? As an artist, dude, the Kirkland signature is
It's
kind of
getting
getting to me. It's getting to me.
He comes for us all.
March 12th, 2023. Okay, so as an artist, like, what are some of the principles? Like you were talking about with Seth, one of the things you appreciated is that he's trying to do something interesting.
Yeah.
You were talking about on stage, you want somebody to have an impression, and you're kind of okay if it's like they don't get it, but they felt something. And so I'm gathering a picture of an artist who is interested in kind of pushing the envelope and doing something interesting.
Yeah.
So when you set about to make young ritual music, what are you thinking? How are you going about that? What are you trying to convey? What's the perspective you're giving?
Yeah. I think that I just love the great American songwriters like the Bob Dylans, the Randy Newmans, even in the modern era, maybe like Conor Oberst, these people that write in a way that at points can feel so specific that you think you might be icing out a listener from understanding, but you're actually doing the opposite. Because you're tapping into a feeling, even if you're telling it your story, particular to you. If you're hitting that emotion, someone has felt their version of that. And the only thing they're not going to experience that connection to is something that you don't know what you're talking about and something that you're not feeling and that you're not connecting to. So first and foremost, I think I always used to say I write very specific songs.
Yeah.
Because for me, lyrically, that is my bread and butter, most important thing to me. And I am trying to give you the clearest picture of what's interesting to me, what I'm thinking about, how I'm feeling, because that's all I can give to you authentically. And my favorite artists are the people that give me something authentic. I mean, even in the modern day too, Julian Baker. Like, why is Julian connect with people in her music, even though it's like the first couple of records are specifically like simple arrangements and stuff? It's like she's giving you Julian. And we can like feel that even if it's like her story. I feel like that's really important. And there's a lot of ways to do that. It doesn't have to be, here's a relationship song or whatever. It really can be however you want it to be, but it has to be something that you are putting some skin in the game. My favorite songs that I've released are songs that made me a little uncomfy to put out because I knew, it's like people like know this reference. They know what I'm talking about, like the people in my life. Like the day that I pass on putting a song out or creating a song because I think it will make someone I love uncomfortable to hear me talk about it because it's my life, I just shouldn't be doing it because it's not good art from me to be missing out on that opportunity. So like the principal thing is like authenticity. There's a million ways to do it, but like you gotta do your thing because it's the only thing you have that someone else doesn't have is you. That's your superpower. I don't know. Someone hit something. Someone might make it good.
A superpower, born in the fire, raised in the dark, separated from all mankind.
How long does that go?
Yeah, I was like, that's like 2 minutes, I think. 2 minutes and 12 seconds.
Well, I
That was. Are you about to topic shift?
you go ahead.
Oh, that
you can
would
go first.
piss me off. Lay my heart on the line.
He just laid his heart on the line. You're about to topic shift?
Well,
How about those Mets?
you know what I was
Jeez.
gonna say.
I know you. I know you like the back of my hand.
Oh, okay.
The fuck is that?
It's getting hot in here.
Oh man, I've snorted a few times on this episode.
Is that new?
Yeah, I mean when you're
These mics
faced,
pick it up, too.
when you're faced with death when like lightning from above is trying to kill you, like all you can do is laugh.
Can I take that? Can I
Yeah,
have that?
sure, make that a
Thank
lyric.
you. Yeah, I got that.
That really goes into your whole like authentic.
This is
personal
my story.
experience thing.
Yeah.
No, I loved everything you had to say about art and the whole like authentically representing your point of view being your superpower. I haven't said it quite like that or heard it quite like that, but that way of saying it, which was your personal way of saying it, that hit me. And as specific as it was also universal, and that's kind of the thing. And I feel like that's like the number one thing that I try to talk to artists about in general is like you just can't be like the best version of anybody else. You can't be the best national. They're the best national. So you can be the best Dylan Grantham.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like learning how to do that. And I think the same thing with different songs I've written, like the song, you know, it can feel so vulnerable putting something out there that you know somebody might take a certain kind of way or they might understand what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's like what you have to do to put out good art.
Yeah, and it's like, what are your priorities? It's like not wrong to make art that isn't that way, but it's like if you're trying to connect with people, that's the only way you can connect with people with your music is if you have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
I just think.
I agree.
I'm 27. I've lived a lot of life. I'm 27. I've been making music since I was 9 years old. What is going on?
I mean, you're 27.
That is a long time.
It's a long
That's
time.
18 years. That's,
It's like I've been making music longer than I had previously been alive.
double.
It's like,
You've doubled it.
Yeah, it's like when people are like, you know, LeBron has been in the NBA as long as he had been alive before.
Yeah, you're like,
'cause
I've
he's
doubled that
37.
shit.
Yeah, it's like LeBron's got
Got
nothing,
nothing
on
on
me.
you.
No,
No. You hit those shots, no problem.
no problem.
Well, I feel like this was a perfect statement for you to go out on and
What?
Like
his life.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Like, why you would just wrap it up tonight?
He's
Yeah.
27. He's 27, man.
Yeah, it's like,
Curtains.
you know,
it's curtains.
But it's beautiful.
It's curtains for me, dog.
you have to make it real big this year.
Yeah.
This is the one.
No pressure.
But now I know we are coming up pretty close to our time here. But before we do, we do have one important question to ask you.
Can we just talk real quick about how that statement makes no sense every time you say it?
Okay, look, I don't know what I'm
Hold
going
on.
to say before I say it.
But
I just
you say
open
the
my
same
mouth
thing
and,
every week, so
yeah,
let's
but
just
that's
address
not,
it.
not on purpose.
We just have to address it.
Quote.
We don't have to do anything about it, but we have to address it.
I know. Okay, so this guy understands.
I
All right.
understand
That
we're coming up to our
pretty
time.
close to our time. Perfect. Yeah, it makes
Yeah, it
perfect
makes sense,
right?
It's got to be over soon.
But before we do,
And yeah, I think it's implied.
it seems like you have to say that though.
No, but before you think I should say, but
Just listen,
before
here,
we wrap
listen-
up,
Listen to me say it.
Wesley will fix it in post. Wesley will do the most absolutely
fair, Ryan
bonkers
does most of the editing.
overdub. Ryan, can you do just a crazy overdub of this? It's not even matching his mouth at all. It's just like
just pull it from another
before
episode.
just
He
pull
says
it from
like
anywhere.
he says something profound and interesting,
No,
and
that's
then
not my
has a
style.
really good segue to what he's about to say,
Right.
which is
Anyways, we have a very important question to ask.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I'll marry you.
Oh my god,
wow.
it feels so good.
He said, "Well,
Feels so good every time. But if you had to choose, I can do this shit all night, Ryan. If you had to choose,
And you do.
no. Okay, now the important thing about this question is the answer cannot come from here.
For the podcast listeners pointing his head.
It must come from here.
And for the podcast listeners pointing to his heart. We've never done this before, by the way. This is a new thing as of tonight.
If you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do. Now, what that actually means, coming from your heart, not your head.
Quick aside. He listened to the whole Michigander episode.
I know.
Did you
That's why
get to
this
the
is
part
even-
where we did this?
yeah, but I want it." Just act like I'm. Just act like it
This is
wasn't
what
here.
he's here for.
He wants it.
What the
Let the podcast listener know that I waved with my hands like, come here, bring it on. I said, bring it on.
Do you know what we're about to ask you?
Just go.
Don't ask
just
the
do
thing.
it.
Jerry, switch it up.
Just do it.
I'm not. Every time you ask me to switch it up, I don't do it.
No, you just do it.
If you had to choose.
And you do.
And you do. What would you say?
Wait, you didn't
No,
explain what it means.
You're right.
You
The
didn't
important
explain what it
part
means. The important
is-
part of the question.
What it means to come from your heart and not your head is that I need an answer quickly.
Instantly.
I don't want you to think about it.
Not even
I
one
want
bit.
an answer that comes from the depths of your soul.
If you know what he's about to ask and you already had a pre-planned
No.
answer,
That's
throw
good.
that
Yeah.
away
I'm
and come up with a
good.
new answer from your heart.
I'm good.
But if you had to choose,
And you do.
and you do, what would you say is your favorite kind of turtle?
That's
new.
What the hell?
And for the podcast listeners, Jerry threw something at his head.
Sorry.
Jerry threw a full vape pod at Dylan's head.
That's so much better.
What is your goddamn favorite turtle?
What's a favorite kind of turtle?
That's so much better than any answer I could have given. But I do want you to know that I was about to say snapping. It was snapping.
That part has never happened before.
Can we get a slow-mo? Is that a thing that can happen at some point?
I always do like a point, but I have this in my hand.
And your vape in your hand, you monster! You are scum. You are absolute scum. You are the lowest form of life.
That just
It's not even debatable.
straight to
It's
your
not
head.
even debatable. This is
God, this is the most degenerate episode we've ever had.
I met you
Hey, where'd
2
that
hours
go, though? I kind of want that back. That just fucking go.
Fucking eye on it. If you want it back.
Oh my God.
I really don't know where it was.
Yeah, it's somewhere. Holy shit. Well, that's never happened before.
Wow.
That wasn't even. It's gone.
It's definitely like it's like in this carpet somewhere. Just
How could it be in the carpet? It's
look, it's
a
so thick.
black piece of plastic.
Wow. In the words
Anyway, sorry for throwing that at your face. Hey, you found it.
in the words of my father, in the words of my father, Blake Shelton, God gave me you for the ups and downs.
Yes.
God gave me you for the days of doubt.
Yeah.
God, well, that's never happened. Anyways, snapping turtle.
Snappy. Which is, you're about to meet that as soon as we walk out of the studio. So they used to call me back in Flint.
You don't answer.
I don't answer to Dylan anymore.
That was maybe the greatest thing that's ever happened on the show. Sorry it happened to your face, but
It's unfortunate that of all the clips that'll be trying to be going viral
This
out
is
of
the
this, it's
one.
going to be.
I can't.
What's your favorite
Flew
turtle?
out.
Fuck you.
What if it was just a perfect stream of blood?
Oh my God. This is how. What if that's how? That's twice you've almost died tonight.
Yeah,
No, it's
could've
more
been.
than that, Dylan. I want you to consider this.
I'm considering.
Here are all the times that you almost died tonight. First of all, when we went outside to look at the rain, you could have been blown away.
By lightning,
Second of all,
not just by like a bomb. Just lightning could have been struck by lightning.
Second of all, lightning did come and it struck a house not
Real
100 feet away.
close.
Almost
Yeah.
could have got you.
Yeah.
Third, Wesley almost knocked this umbrella down, impaling you with that sharp point that looks literally like the arrow of a bow and arrow.
It looks violent. It looks like it's designed for combat.
4, when Jerry
Threw
threw
things
something
right.
at your head.
Yes. Do I have a welt? I have a little spot. Is
No.
it red?
Where'd it hit? Can you feel it?
Yeah, it's like right here.
Oh no, no,
Nothing?
no! I don't think so. I hope not.
Not
Well, I
yet.
gotta have something.
Those things take some time to
that thing
there
is-
actually might be a little.
Oh, it's gotta be.
Did it hit hard.
Yes, it hit hard. What do you mean it hit
I
hard?
don't know. I didn't expect.
You were throwing a 95 mile per hour fastball in my head. Did it hit hard? That's way dumber than throwing it to ask that question.
Well, I bet it was extra fast because now I didn't just like throw it.
No,
with my
it
weak ass
launched
arms.
out of there. You hit
it,
the
like,
turbocharge.
like slingshotted, like a freaking trebuchet.
Every time you use that, I hope you think about that.
I will. I'll think about you forever now. And how violent apparently I am.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got it all on
I
tape.
cannot believe that.
I'm going to sue you for everything you got in this
I
podcast.
think our form says you can't. I don't know.
Remember signing that, bozo? You throw it at me again.
Oh, God.
And the fourth time you almost died is when we had to kill you so you wouldn't sue us.
That's right, yeah. You left me out in the Nashville streets
Then
as
you
a
and
sign.
Waylon's ghost came
It
and
was a
passionately kissed.
He lifted me up.
Note to self, during the question, put down the vape.
Yeah.
It gets a little too violent up in here.
You know, if you would have done that to Jason, I've seen him before, he would have strangled you. I've seen him do it before.
Straight up murder.
I've seen at least 3 to 4 band members. I've seen him just
Murder.
life.
Yeah, that's why the
leave their
band keeps
eyes.
revolving.
You're the 3rd to 4th guitar player.
That's right.
Or to be 4th to 5th.
Yeah,
So
I don't even know anymore. That's the problem.
Wait, hold on. Why snapping turtle?
Well, from the name alone, I think that it implies some aggression, which I'm feeling towards you now. I didn't know how in touch I was with that animal until I felt my primal instincts kick in. So yeah, me and my snapping buddies are gonna tear you limb from limb, and that's why I like the snapping turtle.
Well, on that note, so before we get out of here, there's no way to transition from this.
I called you scum like 10 minutes ago. That's the craziest thing in the world. I said, you are the lowest form of life.
And I was like, cool.
You can find Dylan at small.dickenergy@getalife.com.
In
but-
from the authorities. Yeah.
At which point you'll go to jail.
Yes. Yes.
So, but where can the people
Which,
find
real quick,
you?
I should mention tonight's
Your
episode.
Instagram.
Tonight's
brought to you
episode
by
is
jail.
brought to you by Romanian Jail. Romanian Jail.
It did sound, that was perfect. It was like even like mixed well. You knew just where to be at the microphone.
Well, yeah. That is what he does.
That's kind of his thing. Yeah.
Advertising for Romanian Jail.
Hey, if that's what the money is.
It's a gig.
yeah.
It's
hey,
just a job to me, really.
I'm a hired gun. That's all I am. Music City.
But let all the people know where they can find you.
Where
I mean,
can
your
they
home
find-
address is fine.
Young Rich.
Let me, my home address, my social security. Find me on all the social media. It's pretty much Young Ritual Music or at Young Ritual on everything. Instagram, Twitter.
Whoa!
You could try. that really was a slow burn for me too. That hit hard. Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer. People are on Deezer.
MySpace?
LiveJournal? Actually, no.
Singo?
WordPress.
WordPress? Yeah.
Yeah, check out my blog on WordPress. No, I'm just out there, and you'll know it's me because there'll be a picture of me smoldering and some stupid bio like I want to be an icon or something. I think that's my actual bio on Spotify.
I'm just going to own it. It's not
Yeah.
stupid. You do want to be an icon.
That's right. Your
Yeah.
bio on Instagram was like, I want to be an icon.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just said that.
So I didn't know what
Kirkland. This is brought to you by Kirkland and Romanian Jail.
but so reading somebody who's going to be on your show and the bio on Spotify says I want to be an icon. It hits different when that person comes and they're you.
Yeah, what did you think? You think you were going to get a monster?
I didn't really think about it. I didn't think
Sunglasses
about it.
indoors.
I was like, this sounds like some indie shit to say.
And lo and behold, the most indie guy you'd ever seen walked in the door. Oh my God, he was insufferable.
He was insufferable.
He had his Air Force Ones on and he said,
Oh, God. But
You can listen to Young Ritual everywhere that has music.
Everywhere that plays iconic music.
Iconic music.
only exclusively iconic music.
Now, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I assume when you were a yodeler, you went by Dylan Grantham.
Yes.
Yeah, because your family wouldn't let you do anything else. So
Yeah, I wasn't that wise.
you're a
to
oppressive
think of it.
Southern family. So
Let's unpack that.
So when you were Dylan Grantham the yodeler, is any of that music out there?
No, but there is a box of CDs in my grandparents' garage still. And every now and then you can find one at a Goodwill in the Genesee County area in Michigan.
We will have a petition to release that music to the internet.
Release those bootlegs. No, it's honestly like, it's a 10-track album. Maybe I should.
Is it like primarily yodeling?
No. But there's a couple songs.
And it was
of yodelers.
recorded
yeah.
here in the Music City,
It was
right?
recorded in
Where
the Music
do you remember where you recorded it?
No clue.
A studio.
I just remember being in a vocal studio and being like, I'm so tired. They're like, you
Keep
got one more
yodeling,
song?"
kid.
No.
Yodel us the big bucks. Wouldn't it be mind blowing if it turned out it was this studio?
It would be mind blowing, but it's not. It's definitely not. I'd remember that because Waylon's ghost would have been with me in the booth, and he'd have been like, "You got it."
I remember the man yelling at me at a much larger space than this one.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. There were diamonds everywhere, and yeah. No, for real. Yeah, it's out there. It's in a garage.
So sadly, nobody can find Dylan Grantham, 9-year-old yodeler.
No, and I don't believe there's any even.
Everything is on the internet.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any like videos or anything on YouTube. There are pictures on my Facebook, but you guys won't find me on Facebook. Or if you send me a friend request, I won't accept it.
He's not talking to the audience. He's talking to us.
I'm talking to you.
No, just specifically
Me and
Jerry.
Wesley are good.
I did try to murder him earlier, so I get it.
Wesley is my guy.
So did Wesley. I'm the only one who hasn't tried to kill you.
Wesley, it was unintentional. He was like a. It was like seeing
What,
a-
mine was intentional?
Okay, but I think you're out of the
hatred in my
room.
heart for you?
I think you're out of the room. I thought you did it on purpose.
No, I absolutely
I thought
did
there was
not.
a bit you threw
No,
something, and I was like,
0%
whoa.
would I do that on purpose.
I did come in here and be like, guys, let's go outside to an active storm cell.
Yeah, and
Dylan,
I've got
come
all
out
my
here, there's
rings on,
lightning.
so I was just like looking for a fight.
Dylan, get as high as you can. Lightning loves high.
Holding
Though
me.
from now on, I am absolutely throwing something at every game.
Yeah, you do. You need to.
That's your thing.
No, people are gonna stop coming up.
They're gonna need to
What
read the
fuck?
fine print. Yeah.
I get to throw a thing at you.
Yeah.
No,
A
so
thing.
you actually thought for a moment that was intentional.
My initial thought was, what? Because it was timed so well. I was like, this guy. This guy.
motherfucker
This
had the
from
audacity.
San Diego. San Diego, big boy from San Diego wants to go. Let's go in the hideout.
He had the audacity to build up a question for 15 minutes, then ask me about a goddamn turtle, and then throw something at my face.
Like he'd done it a million times before. The timing of it was like it was rehearsed. You couldn't have done it that well on purpose.
You are a monster.
Oh, when I called him that 10 minutes ago, no one backed me up.
No, I'm on board now. I
Cool.
see it.
Wesley
God.
did give me a thumbs up when I said that. Wesley went, it's good.
It's fucking Christmas morning.
He goes,
That's when you throw the button.
yep.
Oh, wow. This has been an honor. Dylan,
This has been great.
you're one of the funniest guests we've ever had.
But
I
anyways,
have laughed more tonight than I have this entire year. Happy New Year, everybody. Find Young Ritual everywhere music is.
But anyways, guys, as always, thanks for coming to hang out. You guys are awesome, and we'll see y'all next time.
Save me from the ending. Break my nose on your way out. I took a drink